All right, so page 196, again, rolling into second half of unit 4 here. It says, let's compare graphs of functions to learn about the situations they represent. Amy, would you read the little paragraph above the graph, please?
This graph shows the population of Baltimore and Cleveland in the 20th century. BT is the population of Baltimore in year T. CT is the population of Cleveland in year T.
All right, so B obviously represents Baltimore. If you see C, that represents Cleveland. T is the year. So what do you think this means?
Baltimore, 1930.
Yeah, so I'm gonna write that down because it says, what does it mean? It means Baltimore population in the year 1930. So is that the blue line or the red? Blue 1930. What do you think?
800,000.
800,000? Think it's exact? Hard to tell. So I'm going to say about 800,000 people. Question number 2. Here are pairs of statements about the two populations in each pair. Which statement is true? So, population of Baltimore in the year 2000 or Cleveland in 2000? Which one? Is that true? Or is Baltimore less than Cleveland in 2000? Cleveland is less, so looking at the year 2000 here. Baltimore is definitely more, so that would be true. It says, be prepared to explain how we know. Well, in the year 2000, Baltimore had more people than Cleveland. How about the next one? Which one's true? First one or second one? Second one. Baltimore has more people than Cleveland in the year 1900. Were the city's population ever the same? It says when? 1910. So we're looking for where the lines cross. Yeah, 1944, 1943, somewhere in there. Either one would be acceptable. Question number 2. Sure. Question number 2. Tim, let's read that one, please.
HT is a percentage of homes in the United States that have a landline phone in year T. CT is a percentage of homes with only a cell phone. Here are the graphs of H and C.
And number 1?
Estimate H 2006 and C 2006. Explain what each value tells us about the homes.
All right, so H 2006. What do you think that is showing us there?
That there was a lot more landline phones than cell phones.
Yeah, H is only the landline, so that is referring to only the blue line there. How about an approximate percent? 85. So I'm gonna say about 85% of homes in 2006 probably had a landline. C would be cell phone only. What do you think for there? 18? 17? 17% of homes in 06 had a cell phone only. So you can see the trend there as cell phones got more popular. People started to say, well, what do I need a landline for? Just out of curiosity, how many of you guys have a landline at home?
What's a landline? I used to have.
Like it's
a
connected to the
landline.
wall.
On the wall. Oh, this swirlies?
Well, I mean, it could be cordless still.
Cool. Yeah. I had one until I made it.
Some people, if they have poor cell phone reception, keep a landline.
Ours just goes straight to voicemail for some reason.
All right, number 2, what is the approximate solution to C parenthesis T equals 20? Explain. So you gotta watch when it says explain, we gotta say what that means. So what do you think CT equals 20 means?
T's a year. It's like
Yeah, so what year does the cell phone only reach 20%? So now we have to answer that. 2008? So 2008, 20% of the homes had cell phone only. And you can see it's continuing to grow. Determine if each is true, be prepared to explain. 2011. Are they equal? No, they're not. You can see 2011 right here. Obviously, they're not the same percent. Pretty simple explanation there. How about in 15?
Yes.
Yeah, 15 looks to be the time that, probably the only time that we'll ever cross. Would you say it's right at 50%? Half the homes had a landline, half had cell phone only. Question number 4, Samira, would you read that one, please?
Between 2004 and 2015, the percentage of homes with landlines decreased at the same rate at which the percentage of cell phone-only homes increased. Explain or show the reason.
So between 04 and 15, so until they met, did the percent of homes with landlines decrease at the same rate at which the percentage of cell phones only increased? Now we could figure out exact, right? Do the slope formula, figure out the slope. So let's just kind of eyeball it. Do you think the blue one is coming down at roughly the same rate the other one is going up?
Yes.
So I would say yes. Both trending about the same. In opposite directions. Question number 1 on the Are You Ready? Explain why the statement C, that means cell phone percentage in whatever year, plus home, landline, has to be less than or equal to 100.
Can't be more than
Why not? What can't?
100%.
Yeah, percent can't be more than 100. Okay, the number of homes you're looking at cannot be more than 100%. So it has to be 100% or less in our graph, in our display.
Wait, how could it be a less than 100%?
You might not have looked at all of them. Maybe left some homes out.
Yeah.
All right, question number 3. You can write skip by number 2, not concerned about that one up on top. Jordan, would you read number 3, please?
The number of people who watch the TV episode is the function of the show's episode number. Here are 3 graphs of 3 functions, A, B, and C, representing 3 different shows.
Okay, number 1, match each description with a graph that could represent the situation described. One of the descriptions has no graph. So there's 4 descriptions. There are 3 graphs. Show A, show B, show C. So I would like you to read those 4. See if you can find the match. Remember, 1 does not have a match. So just write none by that one,
What
please.
does good core audience mean?
A solid number of people watching.
Okay. Like a lot of people or just like kind of a slope, like a nice line?
Well, I mean, you're talking millions of people there, so. Solid core means they basically have the same amount watching each time.
Oh.
Could make a couple arguments on a couple, but read through them all, find the one that fits the best. Number 1 will be no match. Anybody pretty confident? Samantha, you got one?
Yeah. I think B goes with D.
Say that again.
B goes with D.
B goes with D. Show B. Agree with that? Started off huge. Feels like a crash. It still has more viewers than another show.
Yes.
Okay, anybody else? Yeah?
A goes with C.
A goes with C. Small audience.
No, like, C goes with A. Sorry.
C goes with A.
Yeah, not.
A good core audience. Had a guest star, so it's really high, number 5 here. Now these two. One of the most popular shows, its audience keep increasing. Has a small audience, but it's improving, so more people are noticing. So it's kind of between those two for A. I think it started off pretty small here. That's almost lower than any of the others. I like that one. So I'm gonna put no match for B.
Wait,
You could make an argument that A could go for that one as well. I don't really like A being here because it doesn't look like it's more popular than this one yet. This one's definitely losing its popularity. So which is greatest? So in episode 7, comparing show A, show B, show C.
B.
So 7 would be about there.
No, it's B.
7 would be about there. 7 would be about there. Still think B?
Yes. Because it's in millions.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily the highest, right? You gotta look at the graph. This one is about 1.75 million. This one is about 4 million. This one is about 3 million. So you gotta watch the labels. And this one is about 4 million. People watch the 7th episode. So that might have affected how you wrote down those first matching ones. Gotta pay attention to label. Question 3. Sketch a graph of the viewership of the 4th TV show. The one that didn't have a match. So one of the most popular, and it keeps increasing.
Has a lot.
So that means it has quite a bit, and it's continuing to go up. And most popular, I would say then it's gotta be almost more than all the other ones. So maybe we should start around 6 and start to go up. Maybe it goes down a little bit once in a while. It's a sketch. Again, we have to make the label appropriate to that. So pay attention to those labels. Question 4, here are the graphs that represent two functions, f and g. F is a parabola, g is the line. Decide which function is greater for each input. So if I plug in 2, so I'm looking at 2 here, which one is greater, f or g?
Or G.
G. G is higher. G is higher at 2. Pretty simple. How about at 4, Amy? Which one is higher? Jackson?
9.4.
Which one's higher? Blue graph or black graph at 4? They're the same. They appear to be equal. That's where they meet. How about at 6? Braylon, which one's higher? Black graph, F. Connor, at 8. It is F again. Again, just looking to see what graph is higher, what dot is higher. Not too difficult. Is there a value of x where they will be equal? Explain your reasoning. 4 and 9. Explain your reasoning. The lines cross. The lines intersect. Question number 3. Give me at least 2 values for x where f is less than g. X equals 1. At 1, f is definitely less than g. At 11, the black line is definitely less than the blue line. A lot of different answers you can have there. It says at least 2. So we did 2, that should be fine. All right, page 200, good summary there for you. Maybe dust off the cobwebs a little bit after a long break. If you need reference to that, please use it. You're comparing California and Texas population there. Looking at the homework, page 201. Again, watch the labels. Watch the labels here. See if there's anything that is too difficult or things we haven't talked about in a while. I think most of them are from Unit 4, so that shouldn't be an issue. Just those 6 questions. If it says explain, please do so. Before you go, it looks like we have an issue with 3C. I don't even know what that means. See what it's supposed to be. All right, so change 3C. This is what it's supposed to be. Does yours look funny too?
Yeah.
All right, that's what it's supposed to look like.
Is that a negative one or is that a 4?
They're both -1. Rest I think we can handle. So go ahead and get started on that.